since 2020. We are inside the spectacular Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. So good to have you with us. Mike Tirico, Greg Olson, excited for this one. Partner, what are we looking at here as this game gets rolling?
You know, I think this game is quite interesting in the fact, Mike, that I feel like before every week's matchup, we sit up here, we talk about quarterbacks in the passing game, and obviously that is the direction the NFL has been headed for the last couple years. But in this matchup here today specifically, I think both these offenses want to flip that on its head. They want to control the clock, time management, ball control. Don't be afraid to punt the ball away and play defense. It's a little bit of an old school philosophy, but you have to do whatever it takes to win each matchup, and I think both of those formulas of these two teams are very similar.
From the 25, they'll go to work. 1st and 10. To throw right away, here's Milrow. That is incomplete. No way to force the football in there. Good coverage. It'll bring up 2nd down.
He's usually such a reliable target in the passing game. Like, we just don't see him struggle to come down with catches like that all too often. And when you're one of the go-to guys on your team, I know the hit's coming, but guess what? It feels a lot better after you take that hit after a catch than it does after a drop.
This opening drive not going as scripted. It is 3rd and long. Leggett in motion. Now Milrow facing 3rd and long. Oh, and that throw not able to be pulled in. It's incomplete. Looked like he may have got a little ahead of himself there. And it's going to bring up 4th down. To return is Johnson. And it's a good solid return as he takes it back up near midfield. The Raiders offense set to take over for the first time. They're led by their quarterback, originally drafted back in 2014, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Here we have a guy, Mike, in Garoppolo that has really experienced everything there is throughout his entire NFL career. Spent the first half of his career as a backup to arguably the greatest quarterback of all time. And he gets traded and eventually leads his own team to the Super Bowl. But now, at this point of his career, he's kind of transitioning back to more of a supporting role. But make no mistake about it, you can win a lot of games with him under center.
12 yards on the game. That's good for a quick 1st down.
Well, we knew coming into this one, Mike, that we were going to see a lot of this guy, and we knew we'd see a lot of him early. If that first play is any indication of the rest of this game, this defense is going to have their hands full containing him.
He's got space inside the 25. And he will get into the end zone. Eric Dickerson. Touchdown, Vegas. Jake Elliott now for the extra point. He's got it. And the Raiders will take a 7-0 lead. So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. On the return, here's Xavier Leggett. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense ready to get going with their 2nd possession. They were forced to punt the first time through. It led to a touchdown, so down 7-0 as they get the ball back for 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Milrow.
All right, so anytime you're facing the blitz, the best thing you can do as an offense is just get the ball out of your hand. Get into the hands of receiver, run after catch. In this case, nice job by the defense, rallying to the ball, modest gain.
And the first carry for Antonio Gibson. And he takes a really good lick in the backfield. They were all over him defensively for that run.
And after that negative run, I think this changes the play call now on 3rd down. So this offensive line has to be a lot better on 1st and 2nd down to gain positive yards.
Nowhere to go. He's going to be taken down. Here's Jake Bailey now. It's on to punt for the second time in this opening quarter. This brought him out past the 20. And how about that? Nice return there, picking his way up past the 35-yard line. The Raiders offense ready to see what they can do on their second possession. They lead 7-0 thanks to the touchdown on the opening drive. So try to double up here as they begin this drive first and 10.
A bit of a quick hitter here, and what you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot. But they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short gain.
From the 43, it's 2nd and 3. Garoppolo now. Catch made right side. It's Johnson. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. They'll get 19 out of that play. Good for a Raider first down.
The defender has to do a better job here, Mike, of getting depth. He wants to elevate that ball to give his secondary defender a chance to make a play. He gets too much width, not enough depth, and a quarterback like this is going to take advantage.
And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards. So we are through one here on Sunday Night Primetime. It's the Raiders with the early lead. And we're back in Vegas after this. Quarter 2 begins. It is Raider football. They've got it 2nd down and 2. Garoppolo. Open man is Johnson. He's got him. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line. Second time they've hooked up on this drive. This one good for 12 and a first down. Give on the ground. Nice job pushing through the would-be tackler. Gain of about 3. Second down.
Nice job by the running back making the first guy miss, but it's the pursuit by the entire defense. Even though he doesn't get him down on his first try, the rest of his guys are all rallying to the ball, and they bring him down for a short gain.
A pickup of 10, and it's going to set up first and goal.
The story of this drive has just been their ability to sustain and get fresh sets of down. Now, in this case, after picking up that big gain on the ground, they find themselves first and goal.
Here's a run. Two minutes remaining. First half in a 7-0 game. We'll return to Las Vegas after this. From the 1, 2nd and goal. From the shotgun, it's Garoppolo. A look to the end zone, and it's broken up. Incomplete. There was no space, no separation that time. And it's going to bring it to 3rd and goal. Garoppolo. It is brought in the end zone. Chad Johnson. Touchdown, Raiders.
And what a fitting end to this drive, Mike. It only makes sense that he's the one that gets the ball in the end zone after making a handful of clutch plays prior to the touchdown. That was just a textbook example of one guy taking over the game.
So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. Leggett on the return. Now a hit, and he lost the football. Special teams has come up with the recovery. Special Special teams comes through again. We don't talk about it nearly enough, but sometimes the biggest plays of the game happen, like that one, the kickoff return, fumble, recovered, and momentum swings again.
Everybody loves to see a big return, Mike, but the priority of any kick return unit, just give your offense a chance to possess the ball. And in this case, they don't do that. They turn the ball over, and now they find themselves back out there on defense.
And he's in! Eric Dickerson. Touchdown, Las Vegas. His second touchdown of this first half. What a standout performance early on in this one. That his second rushing touchdown of the game.
And some backs, Mike, they just have a sense of finding the end zone and being able to finish off these runs. That's exactly what this guy has been able to do today, and we're just getting started.
So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. Leggett on the return. And he is stopped at 25. The drive will begin there. Here comes the Philly offense now as they make their way back onto the field. They find themselves down 3 touchdowns here, needing to flip the script in a hurry. And they'll start it here on first down. From the shotgun, it's Milrow. That one out of the reach of the receiver's outstretched arms. It is incomplete.
And their offensive struggles just continue to show up time after time here in this first half. It's going to be hard to sustain drives when you continue to put themselves in holes.
The pressure gets there, and down he goes back inside the 20-yard line. Vita Vea gets him for a loss of 7. And now it's third down.
Here we go, here we go.
Out of the gun, it's Milrow. That is knocked away downfield, incomplete. He made sure not to let the receiver get behind him. Third down stop sets up fourth down. On comes the punter now, as this drive quickly stalled out, so he's on to punt it away. The Raiders offense going to take over here in the final minute of this first half. They'll begin with terrific starting field position. It gets going with first and 10. Jimmy G working from the gun here. And the tackle's going to be made down at the 40-yard line. First time he's caught a ball here tonight, and it is good for a first down. Up the middle they go. And he'll work forward for about 3. It's second down. They'll stick with him again. Space to run inside the 20. And a critical tackle there. They get close to scoring. Instead, they get nothing. Time has run out. This first half has come to an end. So, one half, and apparently we'll forget about that for the moment and turn our attention to quarter number 3. Let's go. Very one-sided first half of action. Will we get a turnaround? Let's find out. The third quarter is underway. Strong. Oh, yeah. Still on the move. And he's going to take this all the way back. 90 yards. Touchdown, Vegas. What a start to the second half. They come right out of the locker room and take it all the way to the end zone for 6.
Mike, we got to find out what that halftime speech was by that coach, because apparently it worked. I mean, talk about a dream start here. You find yourself at halftime, you're regrouping, we want to come out in the third quarter and establish some rhythm and momentum. And boy, do they do that here with their kickoff unit returning it for 6.
So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. Leggett on the return. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense going to have a first crack at it as we begin this third quarter. They're in need of points in a big way as they set out on 1st and 10. This one going to be sniffed out, blown up in the backfield.
I think this play is a direct result of his film study. He knew exactly where that ball was going before the play was snapped, and that play recognition, man, it separates a lot of guys in this league and results in a negative play.
Oh, the blitz gets there quickly, and down he goes.
With the right personnel, the safety position is like the ultimate chess piece, right? You can put him in center field to play pass. You can bring him up and make him a pseudo linebacker, but you also can bring him on pressure, Mike, and that's what this guy does so well. The timing and the speed, he got there in a hurry.
And good work defensively. They're going to stop this one after a gain of 5, and it will be 4th and long. This is taken at his own 30. And it's a good solid return as he takes it back up near midfield. The Raiders offense getting ready for their opening possession of this second half. They'll begin just shy of midfield with a 1st and 10.
Let's go now.
They'll begin here on the ground. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. 13 yards to start that drive. And a quick 1st down.
This is a guy who's been doing it at a high level, Mike, for a long time. Not too many running backs finding success in the NFL past the age of 30. That's usually when they kind of ride off into the sunset, but as always, there's the exception to every rule.
And they will take him down at the 20-yard line. He is having his way. Another big gain. This time 18 yards and a 1st down.
Well, after the nice run to start the drive, why not go back to the well and try it again? And that's exactly what they do. Have to imagine at some point now, the defense tries to change their look.
Right back to him on 1st down.
And he's been on an absolute tear throughout this entire game, Mike. I mean, he's averaging over 10 yards per carry. And anytime you can run the ball with that explosiveness, it's just going to be hard to beat.
Second down, they need 3. Back to the ground, he'll get it again. And he's going to have the 1st down, able to reach the ball forward and dive past the yellow line.
I think this 2nd down call, Mike, they were hoping that at worst, they had themselves set up for a 3rd down and short. But there's no need for 3rd down. He was able to get enough on 2nd, and they get a fresh set of downs.
So these two teams take the long walk to the opposite end of the stadium. We've come to the end of the 3rd quarter. This is Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. They've got it at the 8, 1st down and goal.
Let's go. Come, let's go.
4th quarter begins on the ground. Some room to run as he takes it down to the 2-yard line.
This just shows why you can't count on just one guy to take him down. He's a powerful enough runner. You gotta have guys coming in support when that first hit is made. It takes a team effort to stop him.
And he will score again. Eric Dickerson. Touchdown, Raiders. His big night continues. His 3rd touchdown of the game. The extra point by Elliott is good. And the Raiders stretch out this lead even more. It is now 35-0. So following following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. Leggett on the return. He'll get across the 20, mark him down at the 23-yard line. The Eagles offense ready to take over once more. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. Here's Gibson. And good blocking up front, paving the way for a gain of 8 on the ground. From the 31, here comes a 2nd and a yard.
I'm not lying. I'm not lying.
A quick throw on the RPO is complete. Oh, a nice open field tackle there. He could not get free. They're going to stop him for no gain. Now a 3rd and 2.
Hey, hey, check
They'll run here with Gibson. This will not do the trick. They've stopped him behind the line. 4th down coming up. Here comes the Eagles punt team, as he'll come on to kick for the 5th time here tonight. That is fielded at the 20. That could have broken for a bigger return, but as it is, nice job getting his offense a start out past the 30-yard line. The Raiders offense and their running back set to go once more. And a few kneel downs should do it here. Defensively, they do still have those 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. His drive will start on the ground. The hole closes quickly. He'll pick up about 3. Here's 2nd and 6. Back in backfield. He'll get the carry here. And he's going to have the 1st down. And that will not officially end it, but for all intents and purposes, they're going to be able to run the clock down from here.
And this running game has really been rolling, Mike, all game long. The holes, the run lanes, they've been there consistently. Here's another nice run as they look to put this game away.
Set to go now on 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground. And he will be taken down. We'll see if they want to use those timeouts, but this one is about done. They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8.
19, Tiger, 19, Tiger. Go.
They'll turn and hand this one off. And they'll take this down inside the 35. A gain there of 15. 1st down, Vegas. So this one, a win for the Raiders. And this was as good as it gets. All 3 phases of the game in perfect harmony as they post a lopsided shutout victory. It's one of the loudest venues in the National Football League. We're inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, home of the Chiefs. Coming up, two teams ready to square off. It's the Detroit Lions and the Kansas City Chiefs. Mike Tirico, Greg Olds are ready to get this one going. Jake Bates set to get it started. Off we go from Kansas City. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. Now the first carry for the Rutgers Scarlet Knight, Isaiah Pacheco. And he'll get about 6 there, setting up second down. Once again, it's Pacheco. He's going nowhere, losing yardage on that play.
He sniffed that one out from the jump. I mean, once he diagnosed and knew where the ball was going, he got there in a hurry, and he put an end to that play really before it ever got started.
On third down, Mahomes. Oh, he's got a man. That's caught by Brown. He's still on his feet. Hollywood Brown. And he will score. Hollywood Brown. Touchdown, KC. And that is the way to start a game. Not just score, but Greg, score quickly. A nice opening drive for the first 6 points.
Well, it seems like the hour spent on that opening game script was time well spent. I mean, to take the ball right down the field that quickly, right out of the gates, that's a pretty good opening drive and an early 6 points.
7-0 is our score as this kick is sent into the air. This taken at the 5. He'll get this up past the 20. That's where this set up shop. So first and 10 now. They'll start from the 22. First carry now for Jahmyr Gibbs. And they'll bring him down, but not until he gets to the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 16, and very quickly, a first down.
Well, a really nice start here to the drive. Early down success. Every offensive coordinator is trying to find ways. How do we pick up first downs without having to get to third down? We see it here. Big explosive run. Now the rest of the drive unfolds.
This time the sledding becomes a little more difficult. They're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, this play, Mike, was clearly about the job of this defensive line. Great job holding their ground, forcing these blockers to be stood up. Nowhere to go for this running back, and they hold him to no gain.
On play action, Goff. Now pass deep for St. Brown. That one incomplete. Good job, textbook there, separating the man from the ball, and it'll bring up third down. Amon-Ra St. Brown, the receiver he was trying to target, and it'll be third down. Throwing, Goff. That's over the middle and intercepted. Picked off by Drew Tranquil. And that just adds to the start for this one. They walk down the field to get the touchdown, and then the defense joins the offensive party, Greg. Each side has scored a touchdown early on.
Yeah, and you just can't draw up a worse start than this, Mike. I mean, not only to allow the opposing team to go down and score on their first drive, but then to follow it up with a pick six. You find yourself in a big hole here early. Do they have enough?
So now it's Butker following the touchdown to send this one away. Here comes a return from the 5. And he'll work this one past the 25. to right about the 28-yard line. Goff going to throw here on 1st and 10. Brought in by the tight end, Sam Laporta. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards.
As a route runner, once you identify zone coverage like they were playing here, the key is find open space and stay in it. He did a nice job here because that was not a big hole. The quarterback had to put a little extra on that one, and they were able to make the completion. And with that run, Mike, even though it brings up 3rd down, it still keeps this offense in what they call a 50-50 downs. It means with the down and distance provided, you can call a run or a pass, and both are equal threats. And that's what makes it so hard for these defenses to defend those situations.
Here's 3rd and 2. Throwing here is Goff. And on 3rd down, that ball incomplete.
I think he predetermined that 3rd down throw, and even though the coverage was tight, he still tried to fit the ball in there anyway, and it ended up falling incomplete. I think if he goes through his progressions and has a little bit more trust in his protection, I think there's an easier throw to make out there.
Open man is the tight end right. And he's going to have the Lions 1st down. It's a gain of 12 on 4th down. Now Goff, and he's going to be brought down. And with that tackle, we hit the end of the 1st quarter of play. We are through 1. It's the Chiefs on top. We'll be back in Kansas City after this. From the 46, here's 2nd down and 5. To throw is Goff. Catch is made by Wright. Move this one down inside the 40-yard line. His 2nd grab on this drive, good for 11 yards, but most importantly, a 1st down. Goff gives it to Gibbs. He'll get about 2. Michael Dana brings him down.
So this team finds themselves now in a little bit of a tricky situation here, Mike. If they don't find a way to start sustaining some of these drives and come away with points, all of a sudden you're trailing by double digits in the 2nd half. You become very one-dimensional. You become very pass-happy, and that's certainly not how any team in the NFL wants to play.
This one intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Watson. And the Chiefs are going to take possession.
And these are the throws that are really holding the offense back right now, Mike. He just has to make better decisions because you're not going to win many games when you turn the ball over at this rate.
Yellow.
A 1st down throw for Mahomes. That's caught. It's Isaiah Pacheco. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards.
They were able to complete this pass, but how often do we see these running backs run these angle routes and they catch it in stride and run a hole through the defense? So, I know the defense gave up some yards here, but it could have been a lot worse.
On play action, it's Mahomes. In trouble, and he's going to be taken down. Aiden Hutchinson. He gets in there to drop him for a big loss. And now it's 3rd and long.
If you're going to take a sack, you just can't add to it by taking such a massive loss on top of it. Understand when the pocket breaks down, move up, cut your losses. Now, not only do you lose that down, but now you face a big uphill battle if you want to extend this drive.
3rd and long for Mahomes. And that is incomplete.
The offense just couldn't seem to get anything going that drive. They knew they had a long way to go, taking over possession that deep in their own territory. You want to pick up that 1st down and see if you can capitalize some momentum. Instead, the errant throw brings up 4th down, and they're going to have to punt it away.
On 4th down, they snap it to Mahomes, and he cannot get the throw off. He's going to be sacked will turn it over on down.
You know, Mike, you could almost just look down in the huddle and the players are looking at the sideline like, Coach, isn't the punt team going to come out? And the coach was having none of it. He says, no, you're staying on the field. We're being aggressive all day long, and we're going to go pick up this first down.
Here's Gibbs. And he'll plunge forward to the 2, setting up second and goal. Gibbs is in for a Lions touchdown.
Make no mistake about it, he may get the glory, but that does not happen without unbelievable blocking up front. So let's give the big guys all the credit in the world. He's able to displace the defense right there at the point of attack, and that's about as easy a goal line touchdown as you're going to see all year.
Bates, good, with the extra point. And the Lions are on the board. It's now 14-7. So after the touchdown, to kick this one away. Here's Smith to return it. Get across the 20, mark him at the 22-yard line.
Hey, 57 color. Yellow.
On first down, it's Mahomes. This one, a deep shot for Rice. That one pinballs around, but it is incomplete.
Yeah, a little predictable there. You feel like you just gave up points, and the first thing you want to do is you just want to answer back, and you try to get it all in one play. Nice job by the defensive coordinator, understanding the deep shot was coming, having the right call there. So offensively, just take what's there. You're not going to get all those points back in one play. Take your time, take what's there, sustain the drive.
Third and short, here's Patrick. He'll get this one complete to Brown. He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a first down.
And that's an important conversion, not only because it keeps their offense on the field, and now they can go down and see if they can steal some late points, but either way, worst case scenario, Mike, if you're the offense here, you want to possess the ball going into halftime. Don't give your opponent a chance to go down and score on you. So, big pickup there. Now we'll see if they can turn it into some points.
Travis Kelce, the intended target. And it'll lead to a second down.
Yellow.
To the air once more, it's Mahomes. Hit as he throws, and it is incomplete. Just couldn't deliver that one the way he wanted to. Not really sure if there was much there anyways. We do know it'll be third down.
Yellow.
Mahomes now to throw again. Oh, he couldn't set his feet, but he completes it anyway. And he'll be stopped short of a first down, and that will necessitate a call to the punt team. It's fourth down. They're indeed going, and it's Mahomes. And that is incomplete. One final chance does not work out. Time has expired. The first half has come to an end. First half played out a bit as we expected. We'll see if there's a surprise coming up. Both teams set to go, and the second half is underway. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. On the ground to start, they give it to Gibbs. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Goff. And for a 3rd time today, he's intercepted. Picked off by Nick Bolton.
Well, Mike, I think it's pretty clear what the message was by this head coach at halftime. He said, listen, guys, we're behind. We're trailing. We're going to come out early in this second half and be aggressive from the get-go and cut into this deficit. But oftentimes, reckless decision-making, over-aggressive play calling leads to turnovers. Now, this defense finds themselves heading back out onto the field a little earlier than expected, but they need to hold serve and keep this score right where it is.
And he's going to be marked out of bounds down at the 3. What a pickup, a gain of 18. And it sets up 1st and goal.
Really nice job there, Mike. I mean, he sees the blitz coming and just gets the ball out of his hands. Understand where your outlets are. It results in an easy pitch and catch and move the chains.
And he overshoots everyone. It's through the back of the end zone and incomplete. He'll go again from the 3. It is 2nd and goal.
Yellow.
Pacheco. And he's going to go backwards, taken down at the 6. Good job so far by the defense protecting the short field. Now it's 3rd and goal. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down. Here's Mahomes. And this is incomplete. They get for the field goal. Wind up trying to throw for the touchdown. They get nothing out of it on 4th and goal. They'll start this one on the ground with Gibbs. And he's brought down after a gain of a couple. Second down, 8 yards to go. Here's Goff. And he's going to be taken down back at the 2-yard line. Multiple times and all pro, that is Chris Jones. Getting in to drop him. It's a loss of 6. And it's 3rd down.
Hold on. Check.
Now, Goff. And that is incomplete.
I understand it's 3rd down and the quarterback's trying to make a play, Mike, but if you're going to make a dangerous throw on 3rd down, if you're going to force the ball into tight coverage, at least do it past the sticks. Try to cut that first down and maintain possession. He tries to thread the needle, ball falls incomplete, and now brings up 4th down.
And it's a good return here. He's going to set his guys up with outstanding field position. First down throw, Mahomes. Oh, a lot of chances on that one. It was bouncing around, but it falls incomplete. Travis Kelce, the intended target. And that will lead to a 2nd down. Off the play fake, Mahomes. Off balance throw, it's complete. And he's into the end zone. Raheem Rice, touchdown Chiefs.
We're seeing this so much all across the NFL, Mike, is the value placed on a receiver being able to turn into a runner after they're able to secure the catch. And sometimes it's easier said than done. If you want to survive in this league as a wide receiver, you have to be able to make plays like this after the catch. And great job there by the quarterback being accurate, and great job by the receiver running after he makes the catch.
A short one taken at the 10. Oh, very good field position to start as the return is past the 40. On first down, it's gone. Quick throw here is complete.
It's not the big play they were hoping for, but first down efficiency, staying ahead of the chains, is what every offense is trying to find, and it brings up a manageable second down.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and 4. Goff to throw. Little short pass here, caught by his tight end. And he'll get about 3 here on 2nd down before he's out of bounds.
Recognizing the blitz is just the first step in the process for a quarterback, understanding who you can account for with the protection and then who you can't account for.
And for the 4th time today, he has been intercepted. Picked off by Drew Tranquil. And the Chiefs are going to get the ball to start the second quarter as time expires here in the first. So, 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Yellow! Yellow! Attack! Hey, 43!
Here's Pacheco. He gets the 4th quarter going, and he'll take this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. They'll stay on the ground and stay with Pacheco. And he'll get this down to the 40. That's a nice run, and it's also 1st down.
Second down at these distances, Mike, you pretty much anticipate a pass, and I think that's what the defense was lined up thinking. In this case, they leave a little too much room on the ground, and the offense is able to pick up 1st down.
This time they're ready for it. Room to run the last snap, not this one. They stop him for no gain. Lost 1 on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, here's Mahomes. That one knocked away. In the end zone, incomplete. But a good job locating the football by the defense where it matters most. And it'll bring up 3rd down now. Throwing from the gun. Here's Patrick. He manages to get the throw away and completes it. And he'll take this one in. Rashee Rice. Touchdown, Chiefs. 2 touchdowns for him now on the afternoon. Greg, that's one of those scores where it's not completely over, but it's getting to be about that time.
Yeah, Mike, I just think they're entering miracle stage right now, and I just don't think there's any coming back from this deficit.
So now it's Butker following the touchdown to send this one away. He fields it at the 8. A good return as he takes it across the 30. A run up the middle, it's Gibbs. Trying to find some place to go, but nothing developing. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 1.
A little surprising to see them keep the ball on the ground, especially given the situation, Mike. I mean, trailing, you haven't had a lot of success running the ball up until this point. They need chunk plays. They need to score, and they need to score fast.
Once again, it's Gibbs. And that won't get a whole lot. Maybe a yard. That's it.
You know, so I think as you look back over the course of this game, it's really been the inability of this offense, Mike, to create any sort of balanced attack to get anything anything going, and whether you look at the rushing yards, whether you look at just the points scored, this offense has to find a way going forward to generate more big plays and more balance, both run and pass.
He was looking for Jahmyr Gibbs out of the backfield. And that's going to lead to a 4th down. They'll go for it. Here's Goff. That's going to be incomplete. They felt compelled to go for it on 4th and long. That was a big ask, and the defense turns them away. It's a 3 tight end look as they have it 1st and 10. The drive begins with a run by Pacheco, and he will have the 1st down. Even with 3 timeouts on the other side, they're going to be able to run this baby all the way down. The Lions called